Thank you, Tere. This part of the evening is called the Center Report. That was the first half, the more interesting half. I get to talk about some of the details and the business matters and the business plans for the future. I read somewhere that every good preacher should master the art of a three-point sermon. This isn't a sermon, and I'm not a preacher. I'm a lawyer, and lawyers are supposed to be greedy, so I get 5 points. Please bear them in mind as you enjoy the evening's program, and you consider what sort of aid you might render to the accomplishment of Allied's mission. Point 1. Allied has renewed its commitment not to take government money and not to operate its crisis pregnancy centers as medical or quasi-medical clinics. There are many mansions in the house of pro-life activism, and at Allied's, we focus on counseling the pregnant, abortion-minded woman and meeting her needs and those of her unborn child through the pregnancy and long afterwards, as you just heard. Foregoing government funds has been a challenge for Allied, but we believe the independence, autonomy, and avoidance of government interference that it affords have been worth it. Point 2. First, the good news. Between 2011 and 2017, the total number of reported abortions and surgical abortions, medical abortions and surgical abortions in America fell from 1,058,000 to 862,000. So, annually. Yes. Applaud a lot for that. And the abortion rate ratio fell from 21.2 abortions per 100 pregnancies to 18.4 abortions per 100 pregnancies. Now think about that for a moment. That's still 18.4 pregnancies in every 100 that ended in abortion. While this is unquestionably an encouraging development, the bad news is that these figures probably mask the underreporting of medical abortions and do not reflect the rising use of so-called emergency contraception. Chemical abortions, which the pharmaceutical industry and many so-called experts refuse to acknowledge have an abortifacient effect. In the decade of the 2010s, its use has grown from about 10% of women in the relevant population to over 20%. The result for Allied is that it's harder than ever to reach abortion-minded women before they make their fateful decision. Therefore, in the coming year, Allied will embark on an aggressive media campaign designed to attract abortion-minded women to the centers it supports while maintaining the discretion that is essential to their success. Point 3. Many charities suffer from too much administration and not enough attention to operations. Allied has the opposite problem. With its hard-working executive director and lean center staff, Allied requires greater assistance with compliance, community outreach, and development than it now has. In short, Allied has made a commitment to getting Tere substantial help in these areas so she doesn't have to do them all herself, or more to the point, have to do them forever. Point 4. Between 2011 and 2017, at least 25 abortion clinics closed in the state of Texas. And that is fascinating. That's a goodly percentage of the number that have closed in the nation. And that has meant a concentration of operations into a handful of mega facilities. As part of its outreach to abortion-minded women, in 2020, Allied will develop and, if feasible, execute plans for bringing its ministry of compassionate counseling, information, material assistance, and above all, hope to the immediate environs of those facilities. Point 5. After prayer, reflection, and analysis, Allied has determined that it will continue to facilitate the ability of Allied, its crisis pregnancy centers, women in crisis pregnancies, and counselors in the front lines to access ultrasound services as an aid to saving vulnerable babies. Thus, Allied is pleased to announce that it has entered into a reciprocal relationship with Dignity Women's Center, whereby a Voluson 8 ultrasound machine, which was selected specifically for its efficacy in revealing the humanity of the unborn, will be placed in its medical offices. And its principal, Dr. Steve Pilkington, will provide consulting services to Allied concerning the general health aspects of its clients' pregnancies. The order has been placed, and we are awaiting its shipment. We are so grateful to the Knights of Columbus, and especially the council here at Holy Trinity, for their generosity and patience, you know what I'm talking about, in bringing this about. Now, the machine has been at Dignity for the last 7 years, and it is going to get a new life. It will receive a complete diagnostic and preventive maintenance and be placed with another pro-life physician. So we are likewise grateful to San Antonio Family Association and the Knights of Columbus. Various councils participated in that, for the machine's ongoing service to the community. So 7 years ago, they helped bring it here, and it is going to continue, we hope, for at least a couple more years. The expected life expectancy of one of these machines is about 8 to 9 years, and so we think maybe we'll get a little more life out of this one, and we'll see where it goes from there. And because these arrangements will require about $3,000 to $5,000 per machine per year of Allied resources going forward, we are likewise grateful to you, our benefactors. You're making this happen. Now, shifting gears here for a moment. On July 11, 2018, Allied Women's Center lost a very dear friend. Our longtime board member and former president, Rick Doucette. He died after a final bout with cancer. Rick wore many hats in nearly 70 years on Earth: Air Force officer, software developer, publisher, Catholic journalist, director of the Archdiocese of San Antonio Office of Social Concerns, husband, and father. But we knew him best for his commitment to Allied's mission in saving babies, helping families. Allied Women's Center sorely misses Rick Doucette, so to honor his service and his memory, we renamed the Allied Women's Center Volunteer of the Year Award. So since 2018, it has been the Rick Doucette Memorial Volunteer of the Year Award. And Rick was its first and the last posthumous recipient. Here now to bestow the award for this year is our Executive Director, Tere Haring.
I am so proud to announce the winner of this year's award. Since it is our 25th anniversary, I chose some people who've been with me from the very beginning. Dr. Thomas Locker, could you please come up? Where are the awards? Tom was with Allied even before Allied existed. For many years before Allied existed, I used to do several counseling on Saturday morning. And we used to show up to the abortion clinic before the clinic opened. And it was always Tom, Karen Fossey, Lester Yanta, and myself. And for many, many years, we did that. And Tom was part of the initial group of people who met at St. James with Bishop Yanta and myself and decided that we needed to do more for the women than to tell them not to terminate their pregnancy. So Tom was there, and Tom signed hundreds and hundreds of proof of pregnancy. At first, the first few years, every time we needed proof of pregnancy, Tom would come into the center to sign them. Eventually, signed a whole bunch of them ahead of time. So Tom been my dear friend, my dear colleague, and he's been there from day one. I have a word for you, but I don't know where he is. So Tom, I'd like to present you the Bring to Set Volunteer Award. You earned it, you deserve it, love you. You don't have to. Let's take a picture. The second award goes to a couple that was there too from the very beginning. A couple that was my treasure for the first 7 years. And he kept me straight. Because Tere will give all the money away to the clients. And he had to tune it down. His wife, Catherine, was also a member of the board. And she volunteered for many, many years. And she saved many, many babies. Catherine and John Barella, will you please come up? So here they come. This couple was too very instrumental at the beginning. And I love them dearly. They didn't know that we're getting the award.
Good evening, my name is Lisa Barello-Lozano, and I'm the 5th child in a family of 6 children. I thought this recognition this evening might leave my parents speechless, so I prepared a few notes on their behalf. Thank you, Allied Women's Center, for recognizing Don and Catherine for their lifelong service. They are definitely mentors and models within our own family and within the community. As you can tell by our very large family, how they protect the lives of the unborn, how they've cared for their parents and cared for each other. They are individuals that are pro-life and respect life from conception till death. Our family is so delighted and humbled by this recognition for their life full of service. On behalf of my parents, we would like to thank Allied Women's Center for this beautiful Silver Jubilee Gala recognition. May God continue to bless them in the pro-life work of each of you and the work of Allied Women's Center. Thank you. Father just asked me to mention that my parents are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary in a family party tomorrow.